This is what my hair looks like after I wash it, shampoo, condition it. This is what you call shrinkage. Yep, shrinkage. So my hair is about 16 inches and it's looking, I don't know, what, about 3 inches right now. So yeah, shrinkage. I did sleep with my purple shower cap on. This is just how the fro likes to be shaped for today. So I'm going with it. Yeah. So, you want to know about my lip? Okay, so first off, not an STD. Yeah, it's not an STD. It's actually part of my eczema. It's hand and foot eczema. I want to say that the scientific name is ameloideliosis. Yeah, knowing me, I'm probably saying it wrong and spelling it wrong. But yeah, it's layman's terms is hand and mouth, or excuse me, hand and foot eczema. If it gets to the face, like especially on your lips, the nose, and the eye area, it can be seriously fatal. So this is my body's way of telling me, Ashley, bump the brakes, slow your roll, de-stress, relax, and push yourself too hard, I actually can get bedridden from this. And if you don't believe me that, it is eczema and not an STD, let's see, can I get this in the shot? Yep, see, eczema right there. Yep, same right here. This arm, not so much, it's not as bad, but yeah, so, enough said. So, so now you can get it out of the way, stop staring at it. It's not going to bite. It doesn't hurt, it's just very annoying, and people like to stare, so it can mess with my self-esteem, but we won't let it. Love anime. The Japanese just have this way about understanding the human personality, just humans in general. And I enjoy watching anime for the simple fact that they get human beings, they get our personalities, they use their astrology, they use their blood types, they use, you know, everyday actions to describe a whole person, and I find that awesome. Let's see. My favorite animes, gosh, I have a lot. Black Butler, I love me some Sebastian. Let's see. Hunter x Hunter, Fairy Tail, Naruto. Oh gosh. Amiyas, Amiyamis. Like, honestly, I have like tons of animes I've gone through and watched. High School D&D, Baka versus Test. Like, yeah, I love anime. Because of anime, I think I actually like people more. Anime taught me it's not always what's on the surface. You gotta look a little deeper. People won't always show you who they are. The first couple times, you gotta actually, get to know them. Whoops, dropped. Okay. So yeah, big anime fan. One day I do want to go to Japan. I do want to rock out in my cosplay, which isn't really cosplay. I just want to dye my hair, wear uniquely beautiful outfits, and stroll down the street without having anyone bother me. Like that. Life goals, people. I know. Life goals. So yeah, and the music, I don't know if you guys have ever paid attention to the music or watched anime closed captioned. The songs are beautiful, like they're great poetry in motion. I don't know what other word to use, but yeah, they are beautiful. I even get the song stuck in my head. I'm not the best Japanese pronunciator, but you know. Favorite books. As a kid, Diane Ho, Nightmare Hall series, I liked horror, I liked mystery, I liked suspense. I'm not quite sure when my appetites changed book-wise. Actually, no, I take that back. Junior high. Junior high, I stopped doing the murder, horror, mystery, suspense, and went more sci-fi fantasy route. Yeah. Favorite books? Ever since I was a kid, my sister Judy introduced me to a book series called The Black Trillium. Three authors wrote it. Marion Zimmer Bradley, she did The Firebrand, Mists of Avalon. Andre Norton and Julianne May. Those three actually wrote each of the sisters' characters. There's three sisters, Aramis, Katya, and Annagel. So in my family, we have three sisters. It's Judy, Chris, and me. Judy represents Aramis, Chris represents Katya, and I represent Annagel. And if you ever do get a chance to read this book, yeah, it was published back in like the 80s. It is a beautiful story. I like it a lot. I relate to it a lot. Last time I checked, I think there was 6 books. I might have to do some research and find out whether or not I need to start reading that series up again. So yeah, that one is my favorite just because, I don't know, as a kid, I've known that book ever since I was about 8. Always my favorite book to read for SSR, which is Silent Sustained Reading, better than reading the Thesaurus. So yeah, always do my book reports on that book, and it's about 500 pages, so yeah, well, I was a little ambitious. We'll go with that. Let's see, Pierce Anthony, Incarnations of Immortality. That is, I think, my favorite book series, just in general. The concepts, the abstractions that Pierce Anthony does, and again, this is an 80s book series, but the last one was written in 2000. I'll get to that in a second. Pierce Anthony decided to take intangible thoughts and concepts like death, nature, war, let's see, good, evil, darkness, and gave them a personality, gave them a human face, gave them an office, if you will. And like any office, you know, you're elected to it, you have a 90-day trial period, and yeah, this book series is no exception. The first book is called On a Pale Horse, and it talks about the story of death and how one becomes death and assumes the office of death. Yeah, so it was very, very poignant. Even when I reread them now, it's still poignant. So yeah, what I mean by the new one just came out like in 2000. Book no-no, at least I thought this was a book no-no. You don't introduce a new character when the last book is coming out. So in the last book, let's see, what's it called? And Eternity. It talks about the story of the incarnation of good or God or the creator, whatever you want. And they introduce a new character, the Darkness. Darkness hasn't been in any of the other 6 books, but I did have to go back and reread it. The Darkness was eluded. It was the invisible hand or the invisible shadow, if you will, in the books, but the Darkness was there. So I, pet peeves, but it works out. I still have not read that book. It's called Under the Velvet Cloak, and it talks about how one becomes the incarnation of darkness. In the beginning, there were 8, but one had to stay back in the darkness while the others went to the light. Somebody had to guard it. So this tells her story, which makes me very, very happy, because if you read the last book, the Darkness is pretty, I'm going to say it, badass. She's badass. So yeah, those are the 2 book series I really like the most. Now, I do sci-fi fantasy. My brain enjoys those more now. I think it's due to me being an empath. I can't read horror stories anymore. My imagination's too, I don't know what the word, imaginative, creative. Yeah, I used to like vampire books, like werewolf books, like can't read them anymore. I actually wince in pain if I read the gruesomeness of it all. Yeah, so that. I dancing, writing. I like to express myself without talking. Makeup, clothing, even my hairstyles. They're all parts of me, and I like to show the different personalities that I do have. A lot of people like to cookie cut me and pigeonhole me into a certain category. And unfortunately, I'm not that category. I'm going to be the person I'm going to be. I don't do anything for your pleasure. It's not a bad thing. It's just I have to be myself, and that's very important to me. My whole life, I was taught I had to be somebody else. I had to look like somebody else. I had to act like somebody else. I couldn't be myself, and that bothers me greatly. I don't appreciate having to hide myself to make others feel better. I don't appreciate having to dim my light so that others can shine because my light's too bright, and then you get mad at me and put me down for being brighter than you. So yeah, I've come a long way. Um, yeah, I've just come a long way. I've had to, understand that I am who I am. Some days that's a good thing, some days that's a bad thing, but all in all, I can just be myself, and the people that love me are still around. The ones that don't, bye, Felicia. Yeah, so my favorite Unique products, the Divine Moisturizer, that is a godsend. My skin is very dry, ashy, flaky, so for me, that is, the best thing ever. The lucrative lip glosses, I am a huge fan. I don't have to wear a chapstick or any type of moisturizer beforehand. I can just put it on. The little case comes with a mirror, so I can just, good to go. When you go like this, there's no extra residue. It doesn't bleed, it doesn't feather, it stays in place. Yeah, it has 5 essential oils in it, so everything is being moisturized, hydrated, and I love that. My skin loves that, especially in the desert. Yeah, so those are like my absolute favorite must-haves. The Refreshed Rose Water. It is a miracle worker for my eczema. It actually helps the inflammation go down. It helps your skin, your pores get smaller.